only do it with one hand because I'm holding the camera with the other hand. So you see my old background is there, but I'm now in location on Gubbdata in Lund with gazillions of nerds around. Yes, there's one of them, and there's one of them, and there's one of them, and there's one of them. So many. We will go through all of that in a minute. Okay, so Jan here is now showing his Sidwave page.
That's the first album. Clairvoyance.
Yeah.
And that's the latest one, Transmissions.
So check that out, sidwave.bandcamp.com, and you can listen to Jan's music. Hey, och vem har vi här?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, this is this is for FairLight TV. So this is Morpheus, the guy behind C64.com.
Hello.
Have you visited that site? If you haven't, do visit that site. How's your book going? Yes,
That's a funny question.
That's really interesting. So Andreas is doing a book. There was a bit of a hassle, let's say, like a legal battle with some arrogant Brits, and a number of followers to that arrogant Brit. But how are we with that?
Too kind. I'm not doing anything because I'm busy at work. But it has not been forgotten. So at some point, I'm going to continue with it. I'm working on it a few bits at a time, but not a lot, as I did before.
So there was a Kickstarter, but you never really concluded it because of the hassle, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
There are some wankers in the sea, what can I say? We're here at Gubbdata now. No wankers.
No.
Absolutely no wankers.
No, we don't have them here. No. So wankers would be those persistent that copyright is the thing. We don't really believe in that, do we? Right? So
no comments.
Men alltså jag skiljer i mitt personliga liv från mitt.
Okay, so this is the loud corner. Here you have Jackasser.
Yes. Bacchus.
So he sits here screaming rather than concluding his Eye of the Beholder, right? And
It's finished.
No, it's Swedish actually. So
It's Swedish made.
Yes, very good, very good.
Yeah,
and this is Mac X.
Yeah, no.
This is one of the guys that's doing this thing called BBSing. We don't know anything about that, but he's doing a bit of that.
No, I am innocent. No, but this guy, however, he's uploading illegal wares to a BBS I have never heard of.
There is a distinct smell of something. I know what that is, but we're not talking about that.
It's called the penis cheese.
Tjena Jocke! So this is Jocke of the Genesis project, I guess.
Ja, han är med en frekvens.
And you are?
Dino.
Dino. Hi Dino. I know Dino, but that's not you. That's another Dino. We have a Dino in FairLight, the one that did Cruncher stuff. But you are another Dino, now we know. And as we all know, this is a symbol of the swingers. So they are invited everybody for a wild sex party, and you can see they're really loud. So
Hunters, we love you very much. You should not be afraid.
we love you too. Even if your taste in whiskey is somewhat poor.
Oh, he's very nice. He's made enough.
Okay, so this is the trial corner. Here you have paper. Hello. Now on tape. Yes, and this is the best tracker currently available on the platform. This is Sailor. Yes. Two flowers sitting there doing this thing. HCL design there. Guys. And yes, Fegelhus of FairLight. More talented than he's even aware of, I would say. Yes. Sanke, SMC of Pretzelogic. A group that was dead for quite a number of years, but suddenly they rose from the ashes and now they're more active than ever. Interesting stuff.
They're back.
They're really back. Demo of Genesis Project. He's the guy that makes their cracks less sucky because he's doing most of the quality assurance of their cracks. So, yes.
Då är det du som har väldigt pengar.
The sword. Hey. Yeah, those of you who've seen the show, you have seen these 2 special episodes.
Cheers.
And you have seen these 2 guys doing stuff together. The cat and the dog thing.
And several other things.
And Spelpappan. Yes, we talked about his board game the other day, and also the Generation 64. You wanted to add stuff?
Yeah, we have done buddies and Freskeköka also. So we have done
I
3
guess we can
collaborations.
blame Michael for actually kind of bringing Pressure Logic back from the dead, right?
That's true, I would
That's
say.
a very, very good move. We like that.
Thank you, and a lot more will come, I can rest assure you that.
So Rico is also sort of brought back from hibernation, isn't he? So
Yes.
very good. Very good.
So
I have still haven't succeeded to bring FairLight back from the dead.
No, we're sort of in hibernation. We're in pantaloon hibernation, so we're sort of lost in our trousers.
Where is Pantaloon?
Panta, we need you.
Where's Panta?
Magnus!
Panta never went here. He went to Edison instead. Normally they would be on the same weekend, and but no, he's sort of he's doing his company and all of that. So yeah, if you work in a sort of one location and suddenly you end up working in your own place and you are responsible for actually producing stuff on your own, yeah, the priorities change, and I'm afraid Panta, that's sort of what happened to him. And yes, who is this?
Who's this? Honcho. Hi, how are you guys? We have our nice logo in the background.
Yes.
It's a beautiful piece by Lobo.
Yes.
Oh, there you are.
Cool stuff. Yes.
Thrasher also.
Yeah, Thrasher is sort of my next door neighbor. So this is the guy I'm having lunch with on a regular basis, and also joined FairLight rather recently. All the best. So one of the things that is sort of important is ensuring that all the data that was ever produced by somebody on the C64 scene, but this is predominantly C64, so I mean it's equally important in all platforms, but we care more about the C64 than we care about the other stuff. And these guys, I'm not saying they do only that, but that is a predominant part of what they are doing. So the guy you see here, that is Mason. He's one of the leading preservers of the C64 scene. He's trying to find every bit that was ever produced by somebody and ensuring that works, that sort of lives on forever and ever. So Mason,
Yeah, hi.
what are you doing now?
I'm actually checking some of the discs we have been transferring to see if they needed retransfers.
So if you look at the standard kit of the people preserving,
Yeah. It's the disk drive, and when we have
cotton tips is an important part of their life because they need to change to kind of clean the disk drive. If it's filthy, they clean it with cotton tips, and there is an interface.
yeah, and use the IC host.
Okay, so that's Luigi stuff.
Yeah, that's Luigi stuff. So nowadays we only have to bring a computer, the adapter, and the disk drive.
Right.
Old days we have to bring the C64 also.
And you are only using the native equipment. You are not using CryoFlux or any of the other stuff. You're just using this.
Yeah.
And you're not using Zoom Floppy or a Grease Weasel or anything like that. So what is better with the Luigi stuff?
We got a lot of possibilities in the tool we added to the number of retransfers and how many hours we want to do.
Okay.
And if the disk is totally damaged, we can take out track 18, the directory, and then we can find out if we really need to work hard on getting it retransferred.
So the key benefit here is that Luigi is listening careful to what you need and adapting the software to what you need. So thank you, Luigi, for being instrumental himself to preserving C64 stuff.
Luigi did a great job.
Yeah.
Also with the discs, but he also did with the original C64 tapes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So top clean. That is a special episode that you should watch. I have 2 episodes with Luigi. One is sort of his history, and then the second one is going through the tools. So, and again, this is one of the tools that we went through, and it's the IEC host. So show me the software. That's what you have here is sort of
I have the IEC host software here.
it's tiny.
We can make it bigger here. So, but that's the program to transfer it, and we can set a number of max errors and retries. And
20 sounds a lot. So that's because you're really persistent. You want it really to try. Yeah.
And then we have got a functionality. If you use warp copy, sometimes we could bump a track.
Yeah.
And they actually fixed it in the tool. Luigi did a fix for it.
My issue with warp copy was that I needed to reboot it every now and then, and it wasn't really stable like I wanted it.
This one is stable. I haven't rebooted it at one time.
Luigi.
It's really great job.
Great work.
Yeah, he did a really great job.
So who is the team around here? Who are the guys that you're having here next to you?
Next is we said is the guy who's do the tool we do to import all the images.
Yeah.
Also part of the disk transfer team.
Yeah.
And he also transfers a lot of disks.
Cool.
Master's experience is cleaning the disks and trying to get the best result.
Okay.
I have a little bit in common with you because I have cracked so many games. So sometimes when I spot the games, I can say, well, this one I remember has something special.
Yeah.
We need to check it and maybe get a nibble copy for it.
Yeah.
So that's what we do.
Cool. And then Morpheus is sort of not in this team. So, and the other guys, they're not with you, right? They're not. They're Danish, but they're not with the transfer team.
They have actually been helping with a lot of stuff over time.
Yeah.
Carsten have been helping sometimes. Hello. We sometimes have been used to do some special formats. Cool. So it's our hardware guys, I usually say.
Cool. And this one is running topless.
Yeah, it's the computer that Lucas is using to demonstrate the SID effects.
Yeah, and it has one of those unfortunate Genesis Project stickers on it, but it's just sitting there, so you can remove it without making any sort of issues with the computer. So it's safe. It's safe. You can ditch it. Yeah, it's dark on that side, but we're good on this side. So thanks. So that was Mason, guys, doing excellent work for the community. Well,
It's a compo now.
no, this is 7. No, it's 6 actually. Yeah, sorry about that. So there are 2 6s. One is 6 with 2 X's, and then there is a 6 with 1 X. There is an American guy with 6.
In Genesis Project, right?
Yeah, eventually.
I'm the original 6.
Yeah.
2 X's.
Now you know. Okay, so what we have ongoing here is the C64 music competition, and I shouldn't spoil it by talking, so I will just bring the camera over and I will show you the people that were there and all of that. Okay, so stuff has turned a bit dark in this very room, but so this is Skuggan. My next door neighbor, sort of in my summer house, and also the brother of the girlfriend of Mr. Pinge, whom we will talk to eventually if his floor hockey obsession sort of fades, so we can find a few hours of his time. So yeah, we will do that. And here we have Carl, who is really dark. This is FairLight TV. Yes. We don't see you at all. So yeah, now you can see Carl's face. Yes, close friend in Malmö. I'd like to introduce one of the very special guys, Rowdy of FairLight. What are you doing?
I'm doing some development.
Really cool. So Ubi is the guy that was best man on my marriage, so he's a very special guy in my life. And together with Ubi last year, Ubi is developing drive code stuff, and he's the only one that truly understands drive code stuff in FairLight, so we rely on him for drive code stuff. But Ubi is also the guy that introduced me to all the levels of I'm almost done. The 50 shades of grey, they are very, very small in comparison to the number of how close you are to being complete, right? So that is Uber for you.
There is always some more features you can stick in, or some more testing to be done.
Yeah. So in real life, I'm almost done means I haven't started yet, but I have a vague idea how I might approach this.
That could be some truth.
Men vadå, är det burger time idag eller? Jaha, okej. Såg du den filmen där inne? Det var jävligt roligt. Did I see the movie in there? Yes, I did. Yes. I really did.
Pontus.
Yes. Antti. Hi, how are you? So
Only fine.
Flex, right?
Yeah. Are you doing?
I'm doing FairLight TV, and this is. And I heard that you had questions around Greyhawk, right?
Yeah, of course. Like always
Yeah.
when we meet.
So
Have you got any news on him? What's happened?
we met and we had beer in Malmö some 3 years ago, and he has a very low profile, and I have his mail address. I don't have his phone number. I don't have his mobile phone number, so I cannot text him or anything like that.
But hey, Greyhawk, if you're looking this,
Yes.
here's Flex. We used to be
Flex would like to get back in touch.
He was, and he was one of my absolutely best swap partners back in the days. He was cool.
To be honest, I mean, you and Dog Friends, they are you are the two guys that he used to reference as good friends. So you are for sure one of his better friends. So now you know.
Dog friend.
Yeah.
Any news on him?
The English guy, good cracker, he went to Amiga and then I think he went PC, so I think he's sort of involved in stuff, but I haven't heard from him in a very long time. So, Dog Friend, if you hear this, then PM me or comment or whatever you do, so let's do that.
Let us hear from you.
Yeah. Good morning. This is now at Gubbdata, so it's Saturday morning-ish. It's 10:25. So this is the stream thing. So that will be where the stream is. See if I can move into the stream and say, hey guys. So people still are already up, and yes. Stuff for all farts. a magnifier thing. Very small screen and a magnifier. That's one way of doing it. It's a bastard machine. Another bastard machine. And yes, Mr. Fredrik.
Yeah.
So this is Scooby of Light. We don't mention Genesis Project here, so this is Scooby of Light. You have a very dark T-shirt for being in light.
I can have.
Yes,
I can have
that's
this.
light.
It's better.
So this is the guy that is responsible for Assembly 64.
It is.
The super tool that maintains your C64 collection, and you, if you have the ultimate setup, which is including the Ultimate 64. So the ultimate as in the best possible way, then you connect your kind of main computer using the LAN cable to an Ultimate 64, and then you just double click on the interface and suddenly that starts in the Ultimate 64. Super convenient, and yes, this is the guy.
Thank you for your kind words.
Yeah. I think we will have a special episode with you at some time. So
Yeah.
and seeing you go through that. We had, of course, Joachim showing the pictures and all of that, because the splash screens couldn't be done by anyone else than somebody from FairLight.
They're pretty nice.
Yes,
yeah, even though from FairLight.
They are super,
they reached
super
the
nice.
standard anyway. So.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Good morning. It's now, it's not really morning, it's 2 o'clock. It's Saturday and everybody's sober, and I greased down my previous t-shirt, so I'm wearing this C64 color one, and now I'm wearing it without the green screen, so it should be fine. It's sort of lunchtime for most people, so you would have the Triad bunch having their lunch, and here we have a bunch of other people also starting their beer drinking, because it's after lunch, so it's allowed to have your beer now. Let's see what we have here. People working. And this is... It's actually VIC-20 stuff in the making. That's really interesting. And here we have the newlywed Christer. What are you doing?
I'm soldering some SID-FX on a Commodore 64.
And you have already marked that you recapped it and...
In 2019, yes. 2019.
So you're swapping the SID for like a new one, which is like an FPGA implementation of the SID, right? Or is it like...
SID-FX is a dual channel stereo.
Was it soldered, or so you had to desolder it, or was it...
No, I'm just soldering in the cable for the logic.
So you can swap it in and out?
Yeah.
Where do you have like the switch, or...?
The switches are on the SID-FX, it's right there.
Okay, so here you have that one. Are you doing those, or are you...
No, it's a guy from the Danish guy that does them.
Okay. So how much are they? Do you know?
I have no idea.
You should talk to the Danish guys about what they charge for them. But so a dual SID, and and you have like real SIDs.
Yeah.
Is that so is there just a switch logic, or is there like a soft switch, a soft one as well? So is there an emulated one as well, or?
You can do them in 2 modes. One way is to use them to swap the 8580 and 6581.
Yeah.
Swap between them, or you can have 2 of the same SID to run them in stereo.
Okay, but you need the native ones, or it won't work. Okay, cool. Yeah, so hardware going on, interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so in order to ensure that all bits ever produced on the platform, the preservation part is a big part of the community. So again, this is part of the Danish preservation activity going on here. So, sort of, what is the equipment you're using here?
IC host.
Yeah?
From Luigi.
From Luigi, yes. That's in a previous episode, so. And a 1541 too. Why not the 1571?
It's cheaper.
Okay, okay.
So dirty discs destroys the drives.
Yeah.
1571 is quite more expensive.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the only reason.
But I mean, and you're using, yeah, of course, Luigi's piece of software for it as well. So, but what about like D2, D64 and a 1571? And
which one?
So D2, D64, Yanni, Sailor's piece of software, and using normal Zoom floppy and a 1571.
It's only because I don't have a Zoom floppy.
Ah, okay, okay.
So that's the only reason.
Okay. That's a fully valid reason, of course. But how long is every read here?
24 seconds per side.
Per side?
Yes.
So it's fully serial.
Sailors is I think it's 12 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's really fast. You do 35, you can do both sides. And
but a 1571 is quite expensive.
Yeah.
I don't have so many of those drives.
Okay.
So it's a shame destroying the drives just because of speed.
Yeah.
But if I had.
Well, I mean, you are using. You are reading a number of sides, so every second should really count, I guess. But and I guess in theory there is no restriction on that. That's a restriction in the software that you could support this SQR or SRQ mode as well. So if Luigi just implements that, then you could read using that with his piece of software as well. It shouldn't be any restriction. But
I'm not a hardware guy.
No, well, neither am I. But
if it were working twice the speed,
yeah,
that would be nice.
That would be really nice. Okay. I think that would be a way forward. So you should start hoarding the 1571s, and you can do this a lot faster.
I think I have four of them, but
yeah.
But I have.
You don't want to wear them.
It's very easy to get hold of.
Yeah, for sure,
drives,
for sure.
Quite more cheap.
Cool. Best of luck.
Cool.
So when you've done that, what do you do with the image after you've sort of read it? So reading is only like the first part. Where does it go after that?
We're looking for missing demos.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And if you find something, how do you validate it against sort of what's out there?
CSDB.
So you compare with CSDB, yeah. And if it's not there, you upload it to CSDB, yes. And do all the stuff there.
Yeah. That's what we do.
Yeah? Good. A worthy activity of the scene to ensure that every bit is preserved for the future.
We hope to do it before it's too late.
Yeah, for sure. Well, if you look at the discs you're getting now, what sort of ratio of disk errors are you getting? Or have the discs survived nicely, or are you getting...
I think if they were put in a dry storage,
yeah,
temperatures like 20 degrees,
yeah,
they work fine. In a deep cellar,
even if they're written in the 80s, that's absolutely amazing. Yeah. That's has to be some sort of black magic involved in that to ensure that works. So many years later, it's ridiculous. Cool, and of course you're using two computers at the same time. So this one is reading from that drive, and that one is reading from that drive, yes. Because you can't sit busy. So
we need to speed up.
Yeah, it's multiplication here, or multiplexing, I would say. Cool. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Marcus.
So predominant activity here is around Commodore machines, and I would say almost all of it is C64. But we have two ugly ducklings here. Hi guys.
Well, not just two ugly ducklings, we also have our computers.
Yeah.
But the Atari range is the successor of the Commodore 64, which I guess a lot of people here might know, but maybe not everyone watching. So
depending on if you think of it like following Tremel, or if you see it as following the company.
No, well, sure, but the company changed. Basically, the Atari 16-bit company and the people are the same who made the Commodore 8-bits. So not just Tremel, but also the engineers. So the engineers who made the ST chipset are the ones who made the Commodore 64 chipset. And to that point, the ones who made the Atari 8-bit chipset went on and made the Amiga chipset. So the companies just switched place. So one of the demo tricks you can do on an ST is to open up the screen space, the borders. That is done in the same way as it's done on the Commodore 64. So if you're a demo coder on the C64, the Atari ST is where you would recognize yourself the most. So that's a pretty fun aspect.
That's scary. Okay, so you have the original machine. That's an 060. That's sort of the fastest thing you can get, right? So
yeah, so it's a little bit
not original.
Original.
What?
No, it's the original is Falcon 030.
Ah, okay.
So this has an accelerator card with a 060 processor and also a graphical card and a network card and USB.
Is that a GoTech or something else? It's
it's called USB.
Yeah.
From Centurion Tech.
Okay.
So it's for USB mass storage or mouse or keyboard.
What's normally there?
It's a cartridge.
Okay, so there's like a cartridge port, and you can have you have a USB cartridge basically, which is your mass storage.
Normally, I use it for the hardware dongle for Cubase.
Here's a cartridge.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's a dev environment cartridge that I use in mine.
Yeah.
These are not the same, by the way. These computers, they just look the same.
Yeah, that's an ST, and this is a Falcon. So this is sort of.
This was the last computer made by Atari, so it was released in '92.
I shouldn't say I was close, but I was at least considering buying one of those, the Falcons. The ST was never sort of thing of interest, but the Falcon possibly. So, and you have your like original disk drive and all of that. That's still there, or you have a GoTech or
no? It's original.
You have an original one, because then you have that for all your mass storage, and then you have that for like compatibility, I guess. You can read all your old stuff with that one.
Yeah, I like to keep it as original as possible, but under the hood it's not original. But I like to keep it as slim as possible.
But the motherboard is still the same, right? So
yeah, so it's an expansion port where you put all the cards.
Here on the back, we have something that makes the video output into RGB.
So it's a VGA port original, but I also have a second VGA for the graphical card, so I can use much higher resolution. And then I also have a network card.
And that's not original either?
No.
The hole doesn't look like it was there originally, so...
No, unfortunately I destroyed the cabinet a little bit there, but...
that's really mine. But, so there is an original RGB port, but you're not using that one, you're using something else, so... Wasn't that an RGB port?
You mean this?
The blue? No, the blue one on top.
No, that's for the graphical card, the extra one.
Okay.
So first they made the CT060 accelerator card.
Yeah.
And then some other guys invented Super Beetle, so it's a graphical card. And then they also made Svetlana, it's network card that you just stack them on top of each other.
Okay.
Then you have a lot of functionality.
Tack! Release! It's fake, it says. Thanks. Okay, but
it doesn't fit.
No. You have the wrong kind of ports. Cool. But again, so this extra video card, is that like the Vampire thing on the Amiga? They don't have the software to route them, so you need basically to have like two cables because sometimes if a game uses the original one, it's not retargetable, so it stays on the old, which means that if you're running something on the higher resolution, like the new port on the video card, and then suddenly it's not used anymore, and everything sort of freezes because all the video is outputted from the old port. But
yeah, it's the video is fucked up if you you use this and try to run normal original software, but yeah, I think quite a lot of original games on the Falcon. It runs very good on the 060 and with the graphical card, so it's like 3,500% faster than the original.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense, so that's what you want. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
All the best. Yeah, and there is this other thing I really need to show you is that this standard C64, and I don't know if you can see that, there is a screen hiding there, but that one is rather small, so there is a magnifying glass in front of it, so you can actually see the little screen based on the magnifying glass, and one of those kind of third-hand soldering things is holding it up. Cute. Is this LFTs?
Yep.
So Linus, LFT, his machine. He used to have like a wooden board here where we had a Raspberry Pi. So the C64 would be interfacing the Raspberry Pi as sort of only as a keyboard or like a terminal, and then he did the he compiled his stuff using the Raspberry Pi. So there was always some sort of hardware thing going on, but of course there are some weird extra boards there, and the Ultimate is sort of a standard one, but I wonder what that weird extra board is, and I wonder what those switches are doing. Perhaps we could ask. Okay, one of the events that happens on a regular basis is the Larson brother doing their demo show. So it's per node, big brother Larsson, and then it's Jackass, so little brother Larsson. So the last part was LFT doing pixeling. Let's see what that can turn into. By now, when you see this, it's probably released and it's not a thing, but I saw a sneak peek here. Okay, so another sneak peek is I had this weird crowd pleaser ID, and I'm really happy that Fegolhus Figge would help me a bit with that. So he has done the music part, and that looks really promising. And yeah, let's see where he's going. But now because this is a cover from an original, which is the entire idea, and this is where he's listening to the original. Could be cool. Okay, we have to see this as well. So there are burgers in preparation, and it's you would imagine this is sort of a competition for Master Chef of the world, but no, it's not. It's actually Sky doing nerd burgers. So, and these are magic mushrooms. No, they are not. Is that deep fried whatever that is? Cabbage.
Spetskål.
Spetskål, yeah, whatever that is.
Pointy cabbage.
Some sort of cabbage.
Here you see now it's getting fluffy. That's what we are trying to achieve. Okay. And then we're gonna have some sea salt on this. to get it really crunchy. It's actually something very weird for you, because this is a substitute for crunchy bacon. So we're trying to create a crunchy cabbage instead.
Substitute for bacon. That sounds all wrong. These are words that shouldn't go in the same sentence.
I have to be honest, I'm very, very jumpy about this, because now I have a bacon gourmand here, so I can feel the pressure. I can feel the pressure.
The only group I could consider joining would be bacon-loving nerds. That would be the only group that would be possible to leave FairLight for, but yeah. If there ever was such a group, I would join that as a second group. So now we will have sea salt, and of course everybody know their chemistry. Sea salt is salt. It's just in another form. So if you dissolve it, it could be any fucking salt. It doesn't matter. It's just an opportunity for certain vendors of salts to sell them more expensive. But yeah, that would be me.
Oh.
Yes, best of luck.
Thank you.
And let's hope this works fine, otherwise you will have 100 sick nerds after eating something that turned them sick.
But that's also something we will have in common then.
So in normal cases I don't do any compost stuff, so I'm not really rushed for anything, but we are actually trying to do something. I would say the probability is reasonably low that we will make it in time, but yeah, let's at least try. So that's why there will be no further recording until the deadline at 7, so that's an hour from now. Okay, now we're getting into that food part. Sky of Bike Racers is doing this, and yes. The burned bread, the burgers. They're really rare at the moment, both in terms of the number delivered and also the current conditions of those. So yeah, it's eventually looking promising, I guess, but we are starving. Okay, we're now getting into the sort of core of every party, the demo competition. So this is what the demo competition is starting. It starts with hardcore motherfuckers. Very hard. Yeah, that's the first one. So the inner room is totally crowded. Okay, there was pre-competition and this is the official one.
The first combo is a labor combo. We have one contestant, it's the Sarge.
Okay, so this is one show. Like a Petsky game, I think. It looks really cool. It's very much like other games we've seen, but this is the Petsky instance of the same, so super nice. Now the #1 crowd league.
Gubben känner du igen eller?
Tjena, tjena!
party is sort of associated with that song. They've been playing that on the stream forever and ever, so yeah, it's for sure a crowd pleaser. Alright, so we've just concluded the demo competition, and it was absolutely massive. I must say, it's one of those things that never really ceased to amaze. Yeah, so there was this life cycle from Offense and Prosonics. Heartbreaking stuff, very, very thematically strong, very coherent, super slick, nicely done, and when that was played, I was absolutely sure that we had an absolute winner there. But as entry number 13 out of 14, we had the demo by Bonsai, and wow, that was a massive one. So if you haven't seen those, these are the two that you should absolutely watch, because they are really great. And when I'm recording this, I have no idea who's going to win or anything like that. I can walk you over here and you can see the people sitting there and counting boys. 7, 8, 7, 10 LFT and Rowdy doing counting. We are all thrilled. And naturally, LFT has done his own thing, and the computing is done on the C64, so he's filling out the results here. And, yeah, let's see what that brings us. Looking forward to that.